Follow us on Facebook at Daunta A. Long. Follow us on Instagram at Daunta Long. Follow us on YouTube at Daunta A. Long. Thank you for tuning in to LongTalk.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to LongTalk once again on this wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm so grateful to have another opportunity to share a meaningful conversation with each of you on this wonderful evening. I pray and trust that you're having a winning week and that your week has been productive and that you have made the best of it. And tonight, this is the perfect time for us to have an effective time to have meaningful dialogue. And I am grateful that you've taken the time to come in. And listen, if this is your first time or perhaps you're returning for the second or third time, I need you to do me a favor tonight. Please go ahead and connect with us here on LongTalk. I need you to find us whether you're on Facebook and or Instagram and or Twitter or YouTube. You can go to any one of those platforms, if not all of the platforms, and please do us a favor and follow us, connect with us, and make sure that you stay connected with us. All right, do that for us, and we greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it because I'm always just thrilled when each of you take the time to chat with us and to come up to me when many of you see me or many of you inbox me and you say, hey, listen, I enjoyed the show, and many even ask, can I be on the show? Well, this is a great way for you to send us a request, send it to one of those platforms, and my team will make sure that they reach out to you, okay? All right. Again, thank you so very much. Listen, I need you to go get somebody and let them know that LongTalk is on the air because tonight we've got a really, really great show for you. We've got somebody who's going to talk to us tonight about understanding purpose in our pain. And tonight, I know all of us have gone through. Many of us are going through. Many of us are dealing with life's difficulties and life's different challenges. And as many of you are already sending us notes, I know that you are just looking to understand the purpose. And tonight you've come to the right place right here on LongTalk because we're going to discuss the purpose and understanding purpose in your pain. And so tonight, our special guest is a young man who is known throughout this city and across the country for his skill set, for many productions that he has not only began many that he has up under his belt, that he's done many stage plays and productions. He's also been an assistant to many others, helping them realize their dreams. He's respected all over the community because of his creative genius with stage plays and things of that sort. But while he's been doing all of that and traveling the country and doing those stage plays, he took the time to write a wonderful book. And tonight he's here and he's going to discuss it with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a long talk welcome to our guest tonight, Mr. Daunta Bolden. How you doing tonight, sir?
How are you? Thanks for the wonderful and amazing introduction. Praise God for that.
Oh man,
Appreciate it.
thank you for taking the time to come on and chat with us, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, listen, Daunta, you are a man that is known all over the city for all that you do. And while so many people have seen your plays and have seen your productions, and if they have not been your productions that you have assisted and given your necessary input to make them better, still there may be a few people, only a few people out here that may not know exactly who you are. So quickly, just take a moment and greet our audience and let them know who you are.
Hello, everyone. I am Daunta Bolden. I consider myself the inspirational creative. I'm a filmmaker, playwright, recently award-winning author for this amazing book that I'm going to be talking about with you all tonight. I'm a host. I have my own podcast called DNA Podcast Show. And I'm just the CEO and founder of my own production company, Daunta Bolden Productions. I did put on a stage production in 2019 called Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places, which was a major success. We had 2 sold out shows. I just wrapped up a short film this past weekend called The Skin I'm In Volume 1, Melanin and Melanie, which is an inspirational story that deals with the issues of colorism in our communities. I launched my own award show this year as well called the Bolden Awards, which is an inspirational creative award show. So just, allowing God to use me in every aspect. I feel like God is just really using me in this time period to bring some inspiration in the midst of all the chaos that's going on. So I'm just here to inspire, encourage, and uplift.
Man, you're doing a phenomenal job of it because, again, many have always talked about, the productions that you do. They tell such a clear message and they really resonate with people in their heart. And, the stories that you have told in times past and even that you're doing now, I'm sure, are continuing to resonate with people. So I want to say to you that while you are resonating with people and making sure that your message is resonating with them, you are doing the things that is necessary to speak to people now in the form of a book. And you have written this book tonight. And while you've written this book, this is man, I can't wait to dig into this. Just like I was sitting at the edge of my seat a couple years ago at your stage play, now I'm going to be sitting at the edge of my seat because of this book. Talk to us, Daunta, just a little bit about this book that you have penned here tonight.
Yeah, so after the stage production, I tried to write this book a couple of years ago, but it was out of season, and we all know when we're out of God's season, it ain't going to work the way it's supposed to. I had to go through a couple of more things to make this book effective in the way it's supposed to be, but Purpose Pains was just basically my outlet grieving process. I lost my brother in 2006, and after losing my brother, it was a very depressing time for me. Often had suicidal thoughts, things like that, and I really never fully grieved. And writing has always been my outlet. And when I got finished with my stage production, it was just a quiet time with me and God, where God was like, you really need to talk about a lot of things because people have always been inspired by my journey, but they didn't know my story. And it's amazing how people be like, you're doing all these things, but people don't understand where you've come from and what you've overcome and why you are doing what you're doing. And as people were saying that to me, I was like, well, Lord, I really need to just use this time to encourage people and share my own stories and use my transparent experiences. Mm-hmm. And with this book, I just wanted to vent a little bit and talk about a lot of things that I've been through that I wasn't used to sharing openly and being so open about, but also teaching people and using this as a tool and guide to help people to overcome their experiences while also sharing mine. I had to go through some soul searching because God was dealing with me because I was talking about purpose pains, but I didn't want to go there to those dark moments.
Sure.
And it was me also learning about myself and understanding that I had to trust in the process that God wanted me to be open and vulnerable about some deep rooted issues that I was dealing with. So this is just me being an open book saying, hey, you can get through it because I got through it too, no matter what you went through and no matter what you're going through with. And I realized that I hadn't grieved even with my brother's passing. So this was an opportunity to be able to have that moment as well. So this is what Purpose Pains is, really just allowing me to teach you how to use your pain like I did to push you towards your purpose, because that's pretty much my testimony.
Wow. Wow. So tonight, let's delve right into this idea of purpose pains. Purpose pains. Oh my God. What a just a topic that will leave many thinking, my pain has a purpose?
It does.
Deontay, losing your brother, as terrible and as tragic as that was, now has a purpose to it? Well, I want to dig into this because you really said some things in this book that I want to expound on and shed light to. It's this whole idea that you talk about with adapting to whatever we face, right? While none of us can change what has happened, as awful as losing your brother was, do you feel like there's anything you could do to change that?
Absolutely, and absolutely not. There's nothing that you can change about it, but there's the way that you react to it.
React to it.
It's a thing where I love the chapter adaptation because I was very specific in there, because a lot of times we think that when we adapt to the changes in our lives and the things that the situations we've been put in, that means okay, we have to get comfortable. But no, it's like, now that this has happened to me, how do I adapt? How do I
Adapt
move
to it. And so,
forward?
Deontay, that's what I really want to talk about. You say in the book, we must learn to never become too comfortable and complacent, but must always know that we have to keep moving and looking forward and embrace upcoming opportunities and challenges. Talk to us about that, if you will.
Yes. See, one thing I've noticed about the enemy is when we don't really study his tactics, then we can really get thrown off. And when things happen to us in life, the enemy wants to throw us off track, throw us off course, and make us think, oh, well, you know what? This has happened to you. You know, you thought this out. You thought it was going to go a whole different way. But one thing I use as an analogy in here is a chameleon. If you think of a chameleon, anywhere a chameleon goes, the chameleon's going to blend in with their environment because they know that they have to, one, survive, and then also, two, they know they got to eat and pray.
Yeah.
So they learn how to adapt to the changes of where they are. They change their color. And I was saying in my book that we have to be the same way. Anytime that the enemy throws us off, okay, yeah, I'm thrown off right now, enemy, but I'm also going to learn how to take this and make it great, because all things work together for the good of those who are called to God's purpose and walk in his will. So no matter where I go, no matter how many, resets, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to learn how to take this moment and say, you know what, I'm here now. So how can I grow from this? How can I evolve from this? What can I do in this time to make this effective? God, what are you trying to teach me in this moment in time? What do I need to know right now? So adapting is not getting comfortable. It's also not getting fearful in the moment. Okay, you got evicted from your home. It sounds bad right now, but Lord, what can I learn from this? Where do I need to go? Maybe it was time for me to leave that house. Maybe it's something better in store for me. So it's like we have to learn how to just understand that it's all working for his glory, and it's all working for our purpose. Yeah, it's discouraging. Yeah, you're gonna cry. Have that moment. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. You're gonna have those moments. We're human, and I'm not saying that, but we also have to understand that there's greater ahead that's in store for us. So don't get discouraged. Many of us give up. Okay, it happened to me. This is the end of the road for me. No, it's not the end of the road for you right now. It's just God moving you to the next level in your life, and it becomes uncomfortable.
Yeah. Uncomfortable because, Deontay, it's easy for you to say it's gonna get better, and but right now I'm stuck in the fact that they are lowering my loved one in the ground,
Absolutely.
and I wish I could just. And I've heard people say this. I could just jump over in there, and they can put the dirt on top of me because
Yeah.
this pain is so severe.
And one thing that I learned from the passing of my brother, to speak on that through experience, because I lost my brother, it was a devastating time in my life. But I learned, okay, he's going on to glory, he's going to something greater. But what do I need to do right now? How can God use this pain that I'm going through right now to be a light for other people? So I'm able to use this opportunity to speak to other people who have lost loved ones and be a comfort to them, understanding that even though my brother's not here no more, there's still more that I have to achieve, and his legacy can live on through my creativity and other things. So not using those things as a negative experience and going out here lashing out and doing all these crazy things, but learn how to use it in a positive way. I even wrote a book. My second book is an inspiration of my brother, a children's book called Differently Able. So you just find ways to allow that loved one and that person near you to live through whatever it is that you do.
Wow,
Yeah. So
wow.
yeah, that's one thing that I've learned.
So out of his death came a book that's
Yeah.
helping kids, right?
Yes, and there was purpose in the midst of all that pain, and he left a legacy with me of learning how to live and move forward and be strong and understand that even though he's not here anymore, there's still work that I need to do, and
Yeah.
I would never want to disappoint my brother. And I know he's smiling down on me because I'm using this opportunity of him no longer being here and allowing him to live through my art, my plays, my books, my production company. So we can channel our grief into so many different things. No, it's not going to bring them back, but we still have work to do. We have to understand that they can live on through the things that we do, our purpose and our destiny as well.
Won't bring them back, so we have to adapt to life without them and
Yeah,
bringing a greater service to somebody else, perhaps.
absolutely.
Oh man, I never forget. We've had guests on here in times past. A particular one young lady from Miami who we had on a little over a month ago. She said that when it was that her significant other, their home was ambushed, a home invasion, and then she began to write a book, and now the library in her community can't keep it on the shelf because so many people are just being blessed by this children's book. They don't even know the story behind it, but from her place of pain, she wrote, and now her community is being blessed by it. And you're saying now you've really done the same thing. You've written a children's book, and people are being impacted by it. Man, that's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible to see that so many people like yourself and like the other young lady and many others are doing these things to really help individuals that may not ever know what happened, right? They weren't there at the funeral with you. They were not there at the grave site when you lowered your brother into the earth. They weren't there riding in that limo back to the place where y'all had the repast. They wasn't with you when you left the repast and went home and cried some more. Am I right?
Absolutely, nope. And people just wonder, like, where does this all come from? And it's like, they see the glitz and glam of what it is that I do. They see the book, they see the productions, but they don't realize the tears that I cried at night. They don't realize the pain that I experienced. They don't realize all of that. But it was just by the glory of God and healing over time that God was like, I'm going to use all of this to push you into where you need to be. Because now I look at my work and I'm like, well, if things hadn't happened the way that they did, I wouldn't have purpose pains. I wouldn't have some of my productions. So God found some way in the midst of that to bless me through the process. And it's hard to explain because, of course, I had to lose my brother in the process. But I realized that God is saying also that he knew that I was strong enough to handle it. And
Yeah.
I'm also strong enough to adapt to it. So we just have to, change our mindset and understand that there is purpose and whatever it is that we go through. You know, it's tragic when we go through car accidents and we may, you know, get in, you know, lose a limb, or we may been in an abusive relationship and all these things. It's painful during that time, but God is like, also, I'm using this because I'm going to bring purpose out of this. And we don't know why we go through what we go through. We just trust the process because we trust the Creator, who is the creator of the whole process. So that's one thing we have to understand, and understand that it's all for God's glory.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm smiling from ear to ear. That buzz phrase that at my church, and we've been talking about trust the process, because
Mm-hmm.
while I'm trusting the process, things are changing all around me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I go in my brother's room and he's not there anymore. I pick up the phone to call and I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you said you took your pen and you start writing and you start illustrating. And before you knew it, you had something that you could bring a smile on children and parents' faces.
Yes, and in the book, I'm excited about it. It actually deals with, you know, children with disabilities who are often
Yeah,
teased and ridiculed for being disabled, and it's basically the experience of my brother. And I really wanted to write something. I know that he's smiling down from heaven, you know, just hearing the book and seeing the title, and one of the characters that he inspired. So I'm just using all of, you know, his legacy and what he's, you know, taught me over the years. God is just helping me to be able to put it into something great. And I know this book is going to change many lives, and it's all
sure.
for the glory of God, and it's all because I found purpose in the pain.
You found purpose in the pain.
Yes.
Tonight, if you're just joining us here on Lone Talk, we're here with Daunta Bolden with his new release, Purpose Pains.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose Pains. We've
Purpose.
been talking about some of the difficult tragedies and learning just how to adapt. No, it doesn't change the outcome, but I'm learning to not cope, but I'm learning to adapt. Some of us cope with pain, right? We just manage to not let the pain take us out, but we still are just coping with it. But when we're adapting to it, you know what? I think I'll write a book. I think I'll tell people that there is purpose in my pain, and
Mm-hmm.
that this pain is purposeful. And I want to let people know that my pain isn't the end of my story, right?
Oh, that's good. That's
Oh
good.
my goodness, man, you're really helping me tonight. I don't,
Yeah.
for those that are
You
watching,
dropping jewels too.
I just want to say, man, this is something, spectacular. I want to dig into this piece where you continue on in the book talking about these pains, but you say that there is something called illumination.
Yeah, so I broke down the acronym of PAIN. The acronym of PAIN, of course, is P for preparation, A for adaptation, I for illumination, N for supplication, N for navigation, and S for supplication. And
Mm-hmm.
Illumination was one of the ones that God gave me last because I had all the chapters and I kept going back to I, and I was like, what could be for I, God? So I actually took about a week off of writing the book because God was just like, this is the most important one and it's my favorite one now. And he said, illumination, what, you know, because I was like, what can I break down the process of that for people who are going through a painful experience? And God was like, one night, illumination. And I got up literally out of my bed and wrote it down. And when I wrote the word down, God was like, go to the dictionary and look up illumination. And then God was like, you know, showing me, you know, how it was talking about shining light, you know, bright light. And then God was just like, I'm shining light on people during this, you know, part of the painful process. And
Mm-hmm.
it's happened to me a lot. You know, when you go through a tough time in your life and it seems like you're at your lowest, we always say, well, it seems like everyone has forsaken me. You pick up the phone, you call John not answering the phone. You call up Nene or whoever, and it just seems like nobody wants to answer the phone or nobody wants to be there for you. And God is like, this is a period where people don't understand that I am removing the toxic people out of their lives. No, nobody has forsaken you. It's just now I'm just learning how to remove people who no longer serve you purpose. any longer. Because many times, just like me, and I've learned through my experience, we like to attach to people who are part of our history and not our destiny. We're tied to so many people who we went to high school with, we grew up with, and we just think that everybody's supposed to go on this journey along with us, including family, because I can say family as well, because sometimes family can be the most toxic people as well. And we think that we're supposed to take everybody to the top with us. And God is like, no, I have to start pulling layers off and people off because everybody can't go to that next level with you. You know, there's a saying that we think that everybody's going to row in the boat with us and people are on the left and the right drilling holes. And those people are toxic because not everybody wants to see you go to the next level. So when you go through your lowest moments and God is using this moment to try to push you forward towards your destiny, understand that it's a pruning season where God has to do some pruning and removing some people out of your life. And it hurts, especially if you don't want to let them go and you let God do it for you. It's going to really hurt. And there was times in my life where I was trying to when God was trying to remove people, I was trying to keep them there, and it became more and more toxic. So we have to understand that that's a part of the process. No, people are not forsaking you, people are not leaving you. It's just God is just removing them because their time is up. And then also, not only is God shining light on your circle, but he's shining light within you. Sometimes we have to do a self-examination. Why am I still attaching myself to toxic people? Why am I still getting into these relationships that mean no good to me? It's not all about sometimes the circle, sometimes it's you. And as much as we like to point the finger, there is four fingers pointing back at us. And we have to understand that we are sometimes the causing of why we aren't moving to the next level. Some of us got nasty attitudes. Some of us are not people. You know, we don't know how to talk to people. Some of us, we are just very toxic ourselves, and we have to really get some counseling. And it's okay to have counseling. Yes, Jesus is on the main line, but you can also go and get in a psychiatrist chair or a psychologist chair and talk to someone who can really help you. And sometimes we just haven't really dealt with our issues. And God is saying during this time, I'm really trying to help you get to where you need to be. But sometimes you have to work on yourself as well. So that's a part of the illumination process. When we go through those painful experiences, when I lost my brother, I had to realize that not everybody in my circle cared. You know, they weren't my true friends. Nobody cared to come and check up on Daunta. I was always checking up on other people. But when I lost my brother, nobody picked up the phone and say, hey, are you okay? Is there anything you need? So I had to learn how to cut people off because it was like, you know, you weren't no good for me. And then I had to do some examining on myself. Okay, what do I need to learn about myself right now? I need to learn how to be more confident. I need to learn how to be more self-sufficient. I need to learn how to, you know, stand on my own 2 feet and stop depending on other people to see and validate me and learn how to validate myself because God already validated me. So that's part of my illumination process. And I'm hoping that other people can, you know, find theirs when they read this book as well.
Man, that is so good. And I want to really dig more into what you're saying. Listen, we got to take this quick commercial. When we come back, we're going to dig more into this whole idea of illumination. We'll be right back.
When you are ready to send your child to college, it will undoubtedly be one of the happiest moments of your life. However, as a college education becomes more of a necessity and the key to a more suitable career, parents are often financially overwhelmed, leaving them with questions and concerns like, what resources are there? Is there financial aid available? What about scholarships? If any of this sounds like you, then it's time you've picked up Parents Send Your Child to College for Free: Successful Strategies That Earn Scholarships by Tamika Williamson. Through her book, this award-winning, best-selling author and proud member of the Forbes Coaches Council and John Maxwell team, you will learn successful strategies that earn scholarships. Discover what steps to take to get the most funding possible, and find resources that you can use to find all the scholarships available. Along with that, you can keep track of your progress with the College for Free Activity and Resource Guide. In this workbook lies a library of information and helpful resources that will help you and your child along the way. Go over to www.collegeforfree.info to pre-order your book today. Also available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com.
We're back here tonight on LongTalk, and here with our special guest, Mr. Daunta B.Lin, who has really been helping us and navigating us, if you will, through understanding the pain And not only the pain, but not to cope with it and not just to self-medicate it, but to find purpose in it. And tonight, Daunta, right before the break, you were talking about illuminating. And one of the things you had said in the book that you sort of was talking about is that many times we become complacent. Well, you know, I guess it isn't that bad after all, right? I guess that it's about the best it's going to be, so I might as well just deal with it. And then, as you said, when we do not get the phone calls of support, we do not get the letters, the emails, the DM messages, it seems to get very dark. Gets very gloomy. But you said, and I love what you said in the book, you said, but this is the time in which, when we find ourselves in the darkest places, this is the position where God shines the brightest light upon us to expose those things which are unnecessary and necessary for further progress and its own challenges. So you mean that once the light is shined, once I can see this person was really only here for what they could get out of me, that group right there only was using me to advance their agenda?
Right. Yeah, sometimes we're just so distracted because we're always on the go, we're always moving, we're comfortable with the people in our circle. But it's not until we get to those dark places where God begins to shine light. You ever be in a dark room and that light shine and you start noticing things you haven't noticed before?
I
And that's
start
kind of
squinting. Yeah.
yes,
Oh my
and you start
God.
being like, wait a minute, this person is kind of toxic. Wait a minute, you got a
Yeah.
little bit of, something going on over here, a little jealousy, a little hating, you seem like you're a little bitter. And you start to notice all those things because you're now at a place where you can see brighter because the light is shining and you're in those dark places. Many times we're always on the go. We're so focused on other things that we're not really focused on that. And it's until you get to those dark places where you really start to see clearly. And God is really opening up your vision to certain things and certain toxic people. And then you're looking at yourself, well, why didn't I notice this before? It's just because it's all a part of that experience. Where you had to get to this moment, this lowest moment in your life, so God can reveal people's true colors for us. Because sometimes people are just good at faking it. I love you. I'm your friend. I'm your brother. I'm your sister. And it's like, you're my brother and my sister until I get to a place where I am at my lowest. And then some people are just, greedy. They're leeches. They want to leech off of you. They want to mooch off of you. They're all good and they love you when you're beneficial to them. But part of a great friendship and people you want in your life is people love you when you're beneficial to them and when you're not beneficial to them. And God has to expose people in that season, because when you get to greatness, you don't want to be taking and carrying all this load and baggage with you. It's like unload some of that baggage, in your life. We carry around a lot. So yeah, that's part of that. That's one of my favorite processes, illumination.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, we got to do some. We got to allow God to illuminate. We can't try to cover up. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I know she's not there for me, but really, indeed, she is a good person. That's me covering up, trying to cover up where God is trying to shine the light, right?
And we try to make excuses. I have friends who I get very upset with because I'm just in my pruning season where I'm like, okay, guys, they could go, then let them go. And then, part of us be like, well, I just want to love people. I want to see them give their life to God and I want to be there. And, we try to be people's side. We try to, take God's place for him and be everyone's savior. And it's like God is saying that's not your job. Sometimes you just have to let people go because they hinder you from where you need to be. And I believe in a saying that says, God's not through with you, but I am. I see you at the top. I love you, but, and we have to be very, discerning in those seasons, because I'm not saying that you should just go and cut everybody off, because there's some people that are part of your assignment where God wants them in your life and you need them. But you just have to pray and ask God for wisdom and understanding in that, because some people will cut off the wrong people. And some of us, that's a part of also examining yourself and shining a light within yourself, because we got these people people like, I'm cutting everybody off in this season, new year, new me. And it's like, sometimes it's not everybody else, sometimes it's you. So we have to make sure that we're very, prayerful and discerning and who we cut off in the season. And many times it is, cutting off people because they need to go. But let God be, the instructor on that, and follow him.
Oh, you're exactly right, man. Every top of the year we see on social media, I'm cutting off everybody, right? You think
I used to be one of them type of people, and then I was like, well, I got to do some cutting off on myself because I got some issues that I need to deal with within myself. So, we have to be very mindful of that as well. It's not always other people. Sometimes most of the time, I would say, because we need to take, accountability. It's us, so we
you're
have
right. Man, you're right. Can't be so trendy all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man, listen, I know time is getting away from us and you got somewhere to go, but I want to maximize this moment by just picking up this last quote that you talked about in the book, where you said you can either sit in your pain or use it as a necessary tool to push you towards your purpose. And you say it's going to push you towards your purpose, even with the pain that drove you there. Talk to us about that.
I have a saying that when you first do your pity party, people are going to show up to the party, but then eventually, once you start continuing to have the pity party every week, people got things to do, and everybody's not going to come to the party all the time to, pity you. And I say that with love and grace, because there's so many times where people want to be the victim of their circumstances and they don't want to evolve and move forward. Not every week we want to see you with tissues on the couch and come over and console you for the same old thing. Yes, when you lose someone, trust and believe, I understand it's hard, it's difficult, but some people want to stay in that space. And it's like, we have to understand that God wants us to eventually move out of that space. Yes, when it first happens, we're going to surround you, we're going to love you, we're going to be there for you. But then when you start to get to a place where you're using that as a tactic to not get you where you need to be, and you start to lash out at people, and then you start to use that in a negative perspective, and then you want everybody to come to the party and love on you, it's like, eventually nobody's going to be there. So it's like, you have to choose in life if you're going to sit in that pain and always be that victim and cause people to not want to be around you and not get anywhere in life and be lonely, miserable with 12 cats or whatever it is you want to have. Or you're going to use this opportunity to say, you know what, I understand, I have my moment, I'm grieving, and you're still going to have those periods and moments, because it was September the 13th come around, September 25th, those are hard moments for me, because those are the days. September 13th is my brother's birthday. September 25th is when I lost him. So I get it. So every year it doesn't get any easier, but you have to understand too that, you got to learn how to adapt to it, and you have to understand that, what are you going to do from it? How are you going to build from this? Where are you going to go from here? How are you going to use this? So it's saying, are you going to sit in that and make you bitter and angry? Or are you going to make you better? Than who you are. So you could choose to be bitter, or you could choose to be better. And trust, when you're bitter, ain't nobody coming to the party. But when you're better and you're using that for God's glory, then I'm coming up to the party. I'm bringing the cake, the ice cream, the candles, and everything we can celebrate. So that's what I said in this book, because I really feel like many people tend to want to always be bitter, and it's like, you ain't got to be bitter. You're too beautiful, to be bitter. God made you whole, and things are going to happen in life, and life is uncontrollable. Life is painful sometimes, but we have to understand, are we going to stay in and wallow in this and make excuses of why we can't get to where we need to be? Or are we going to use this and build this? Use that as your foundation. That's the foundation of building something great. So look at that opportunity as saying, you know what, this is a part of my foundation. I just got to learn how to build from here and go from here. So it's your choice, and I want to give people the opportunity, but over here we building.
We're building. Yeah. Man, I appreciate it. Daunta, before we go, I want you to take just a moment from your heart, of course, that may be filled with pain. And one of the things I've said over the years, there's nothing wrong with being transparent and being honest enough. Here on LongTalk, we really pride ourselves on making sure that we speak to being authentic, because there's no need and there's no time for us to have a long talk and for us to be fake and for us to be operating pseudoism, right? We have to be just transparent enough to say, yeah, I'm dealing with some things. And so I want you to talk to somebody out there who's watching this, who may be in the middle of one of the most darkest times. They've come on here tonight and are listening to this, and they just want you to speak directly to them. Take a moment and talk to our audience.
Absolutely. One, just understand that it seems like it's the end, but it's definitely not the end. It's only the beginning for you. It may seem like it's the most rough and difficult time in your life. And trust, we've all been there. I've been there. But one thing you have to understand is that this is not the end of the story for you. This is something that's going to help to build your endurance and make you stronger. Understand that life is going to have its ups and downs, and realize that God has not taken his hands off of you. God knew that this was going to happen the day you were born, because he predestined your life for you. So understand that it's okay to grieve. It's okay to cry. Use people in this moment to, get in your circle, have people around you to encourage and pray for you. I'm here as well. My information is on the page right here. So if you need someone to talk and pray with you, I am here for you. I understand that, you are, God is the author of your life, but you also have control to say, you know what, I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to use this for God's glory. And understand that this is just the beginning of your story. Have that moment to cry, have that moment to, be upset, but use this and say, you know what, weeping comes for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to understand that I have to adapt from this. And you are going to adapt from this. And you're going to move forward and you're going to continue to evolve, and trust the process and understand that God will never leave you nor forsake you. And I love you, and we all love you.
Man, thank you so much for that. That really encouraged. So many people are saying, even now, proud of you and so excited that you have taken the time to minister and avail yourself to those persons that are in need. Many people that are part of this show and watch this show often are people that are really going through some of life's most difficult challenges. Absolutely. I run into so many people when I'm out. I was just having lunch, and on my way to lunch, as I was crossing the street, a brother stopped me and said, "Hey!" And I was late to my lunch because I watched that show last Tuesday. And when you said, how am I, and so I say that, Daunta, because so many people are really going through. Mm-hmm. We've gone through a pandemic. Now we're seeing mass shootings once again in our country are on the rise. Mm-hmm. Right now, they are fighting in right here in the state of Georgia to, in my opinion, suppress voting rights. And so we've got a lot going on. And so for you to say, I'm here for you, if you want to talk and if you want someone to counsel and not have a pity party, as you said earlier, you're not bringing your cake and your ice cream to a pity party, but you're saying if somebody just needs strengthen, the Bible says that after you've been converted, go back and strengthen your brother, right? Absolutely. That we may be able to overcome our challenges and through our purpose and through our pain, because our pain has purpose. Absolutely. Tonight, I want to say to every person that's watching, please pick up a copy of Purpose Pains, Daunta Bolden. You can pick that up at Amazon.com. Just type it in, Daunta, D-E-O-N-T-E, Bolden, B-O-L-D-E-N, Daunta Bolden. Oh my God, yeah, type it in. And once you type his name in, it should come up, Purpose Pains. You can pick that up on Amazon.com or go to his website, which is DauntaBoldenProductions.com, and pick up a copy. You said it earlier, but for the people in the back, Daunta, how can people find you and how can people connect with you?
Well, it's Deontay Bolden Productions on every site. So you can go to Instagram, Deontay Bolden Productions, Facebook, Deontay Bolden Productions. Deontay Bolden is also my main page as well. And if you go to my website, www.deontayboldenproductions.com, which is at the bottom, it is links to all my social media, my LinkedIn, my Instagram, everything. Connect with me on my website. It's a lot of great things coming. It'll also connect you to other things that I have going on. And let's just connect. I love connecting with people and, networking with different people, especially like-minded individuals.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, you're a very busy man. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. Thank you so much, Deontay.
Thank you for having me, and I hope to come back because there's going to be something else I might want to come back and discuss with you.
Oh, listen, you have an open invitation. Whenever you can carve out the time, LongTalk is available. We're not going anywhere.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take care.
You,
Stay with us. Stay with us. Oh, tonight I pray once again that this LongTalk, boy, was it something for the books. Ah, man. You mean pain does actually have a purpose. You heard it right. Pain does have a purpose. You go through things. I face challenges. You face difficulties. We collectively are always going through something. I heard one old preacher say it like this. You're either going into it, right in the middle of it, coming out of it, to go back through it again, to start it, to be in the middle of it, to come out, and to go right back in. So at whatever place you're in, you heard Deontay said earlier, you got to trust the process. That it may be difficult when you first lay your eyes on it. And when God finally shines the light and the light bulb comes off, ding, ding. Oh, my God. You mean to tell me? Are you kidding? Are you serious? Oh, man, I didn't know. And when you have those aha moments, when the light finally comes on and God shines the light and it becomes illuminated, and as you begin to navigate through understanding, oh, this had to happen. Oh, I could not have avoided that. David said it like this, and boy, I don't want to preach, but David said it was good that I was afflicted. Man, it takes real maturity. And here on LongTalk, we're always a solution and a network and an outlet to help you to understand, oh my God, you can make it. And it's going to be all right. All right. Listen, enough already. I just want to let somebody know it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. You're watching LongTalk tonight, and I really want to bring this thing to a close, but I'm feeling compelled to share with somebody as difficult as you have found yourself in at this present moment, and you have never been here before. Listen, I still want you to know you can live, even though you've lost somebody significant, even though somebody walked away through a bitter and painful divorce, even though your children, somebody took custody of your children. I don't know who I'm talking to. And you're saying, I don't know how I'm going to live without my kids. Listen, I'm going to let you know it is something most difficult. It is something that it's hard to explain and understand, but you're going to be okay. This is a process that's going to teach you some of life's most valuable lessons. Don't you give up. Don't you dare throw in your towel, because I often say you're going to need that towel to wipe the sweat from your brow. All right? All right. Listen, that's LongTalk for this evening. Before you go, make sure you connect with us here at LongTalk, whether you do it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Go ahead, hit that notification bell if you're on Twitter. Subscribe if you're on Twitter. Follow us if you're on Instagram. Make sure that you follow us here on Facebook. Go ahead and do a watch party. Somebody was at work tonight, and they won't see this unless you share it or do the watch party here on Facebook. Go ahead, drop that name in the comment section so that they will be made aware that we're talking about purpose pains tonight. All right, go ahead. As I heard one YouTuber say, smash that notification bell. Smash that subscription button there on YouTube. Thanks to all that follow us and you write your comments, you send us your messages. Listen, we're so thankful for it. And we're always grateful when you send us messages and when you interact with us to let us know that Long Talk is meaningful and that you are being impacted in a positive way by these Long Talks. All right. Well, listen, we got to go. We'll see you next time. As always, enjoy your time, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your week. Listen, we'll be back same time, same place next time for another Long Talk. Take care.
Follow us on Facebook at Daunta A. Long. Follow us on Instagram at Daunta Long. Follow us on YouTube at Daunta A. Long. Thank you for tuning in to Long Talk.